Okay, now comes the part where I check my connections, and I check them using not 200K or 200 ohms, but more like 200K ohms, because it takes a while to register on the meter, and sometimes it goes up to 300, and see, like right now I'm not pressing hard enough and it doesn't register. But if I go to like I don't know, is that 20K or 200K? I'm not sure. I guess that's 20K. It registers a lot faster. So what I'll do is I'll check these and show you how I do it with a populated board. So first of all, I check that every connection is good from one lead to the other. I do this pretty quickly, and it's a pretty good way of checking the leads are soldered in. You might miss a few if the solder isn't touching your lead, but usually it's a pretty good way of doing it. So all of these are connected as they should be. Just get this up a little. Now, the most important thing, I think, is to check for bridges that you don't want from one pad to another pad. And with a populated board, you have to remember that some of the pads are connected with capacitors and resistors. So there should be no connection here. That's good. There should be no connection here. That's good. Okay, did you see that? There was a connection there. I'm shorting these two. And now I check it again. 19 ohms, and then it goes to infinity. What happens is there's a capacitor connected between here and here. So when I first put the probes on there, the electricity flows through the capacitor. Then the capacitor fills up and no more electricity can flow. So it goes to infinity again. So that's a good connection. There's no bridge. Otherwise it would always show that you have a short between this lead and this lead. And check the next lead in the same way. Next two. Next two. Next two. Next two. And you just check your whole board this way, looking for bridges. That is a solder that connects two pads that you don't want. And if you have a bridge, it'll show up on your meter like this. And this looks pretty good. You can also check everything with ground. Okay, there was a ground there, but this is the ground wire to the chip, so that's good. Let's see, maybe that's a capacitor because it fills up. Let's see, where is my ground? Let me check that. So my ground is 1, 2, 3 over from this side. 1, 2, 3. So let's make sure that stays a short. Oh, I'm on the positive. That's positive. Okay, this is the ground. There we go. So the reason I had a little blip here was because there are capacitors that go from positive to negative. So it showed up a while. So that's good. Another good thing to do is to check on the other side of the board. Go from each connection, the end points of your connections. So here's my connection pins. Follow them visually into the socket or the final point, and twist your meter, make sure they get there, and do that for all of them. So this is the blue wire, the blue solid wire. It gets there. And check all these. Positive goes to positive, and actually follow it all the way down to its terminal point. Positive gets to positive, negative, goes to this negative. That way you get to check the entire path from one point to the other.